Insectopedia. Hello my dear teacher, I'm Upasana from class 6D. Today here I'm making a video presentation on Insectopedia and I will talk about these 5 insects. These 5 insects are ladybug, grasshopper, butterfly, honeybee and ant. So let us know about the food habits of these insects, the life cycle of these insects and the importance of these insects in the nature. Butterfly. When we talk about butterfly, the first thing comes to our mind is the beautiful and the colorful wings. So let us know about this colorful butterflies. Butterflies are beautiful and unique insects. There are many types of butterfly. During their brief life, they undergo a complete transformation. Although there are thousands of different types of butterfly, most seem to have the same taste in food. Nectar, a sugary fluid that plants produce. Almost all butterflies drink nectar from flowers. However, butterflies are picky about which flower they choose to visit. Most prefer to get their nectar from a particular type of flower. A few species of butterfly don't eat nectar. These butterflies get their nutrition from other organic matter like tree sap and rotting fruits. So this is the food of butterfly. Most seem to have the same taste in the food, that is nectar. They obtain nectar to fulfill their nutrition value. But few type of butterfly don't obtain nectar, but they obtain other organic matter like tree sap and rotting fruits. Adult butterflies drink nectar from blossoms on flowering plants. Butterflies use a long proboscis to reach deep into the bloom to get at nectar. The long proboscis, which is a part of their mouth, work like a straw. Other that butterflies curl into spiral when not using. So, butterfly use a long proboscis which acts like a straw to obtain the nectar, and when it is not used, and when the butterfly is not using that, it will curl back into the spiral. Like bees and other pollinators, butterflies pick up pollen while they sip a flower's nectar. Once they are off to another plant, the pollen goes with them, helping to pollinate plant species. About 1/3 of food consumers depends on the work of pollinators. So this is how the pollination process happens. When the butterfly obtain nectar from a flower, the pollen is sucked into the hair of the butterfly, and when it passes to the another flower, the pollen is collected in stigma, which helps in reproduction of plants. And this artwork is very important, that about 1/3 of food consumers that we depend is on the work of pollinators. Life cycle of a butterfly. First, adult butterfly lay eggs and the egg hatches into caterpillar. The caterpillar, and then it is formed into a pupa, and then the adult butterfly comes out. This is the process of life cycle of a butterfly. Life cycle of a grasshopper. First, the grasshopper lay eggs. The egg is then the egg hatches and the nymph come out. The youngest form of grasshopper is the nymph, and then they grow the nymph and then the adult butterfly. So here we are talking about none other than grasshopper. So let us know more about this grasshopper. Young grasshoppers called nymph hatch from eggs, looking smaller in the version of adult. At this stage, they are incapable of flying as their wings is absent or not fully developed. So we see that grasshopper also flies, but in the nymph form, the nymph can't fly as the wing is not fully developed. Over approximately 8 weeks, the nymphs molt and the over approximately 8 weeks, the nymphs molt and grow until they become adults with fully functioning wings genitalia. So the nymph is growth in nymph. After that, it is it is becoming in a growth. So when they obtain food and become more stronger, the wings will be fully developed, and then fully functioning wings will form, and then it is grown into a grasshopper. Throughout this time, the nymph continuously feed on nearby plants. Grasshoppers aren't particularly selective about what they eat, but they often favor green leaves. When grasses, plant stems, and flowers are scarce, grasshoppers have no problem eating fungi, moss, animal dung, rotting meat, and weakened insects. So these are kind of omnivores. So they can eat whatever they found in the nature. Usually they obtain green grasses, so that's why we called it as a grasshopper. If grasses, plant stems, flowers are in scarce, grasshopper have no problem eating on fungi, moss, animal dung, rotting meat, and weakened insects. Or they can also eat spiders. So they are both herbivores and carnivores, which is omnivores. If you have found a grasshopper outdoor and would like to observe it for a while, any available greens that you have at home, such as well washed lettuce, kale, or cabbage, would be suitable for food. So if we want to feed grasshoppers something, we would comfortably give lettuce, kale, or cabbage, which is suitable food for grasshopper. While grasshoppers can do a significant damage in farmers, without it ecosystem would be much more different place. They play a critical role in the environment, making it safer and more efficient place for plants and other animals to thrive. In fact, even a change in grasshopper mood can alter the ways in which they benefits the environment. So this grasshopper plays a critical role in the environment. The grasshopper benefits the human and the ecosystem in general by facilitating plant decomposition and regrowth, creating a balance between the type of plant that thrive. So basically, the grasshopper benefits the human and the ecosystem by decomposition and the regrowth of a plant. So when the quality of the plant grows well, the consumers can easily find food. So just like any other insect or animal, grasshoppers exert waste after eating. So now any animals usually after they eat, they leave the waste. So like that, grasshopper also leave the waste after eating. That waste is highly beneficial for fertilizing the soil and facilitating the plant growth. And what waste the grasshopper produce is highly important for the fertilizing of plants and fertilizing of the soil and facilitating the plant growth. While the grasshopper may not appreciate this particular role that plays in ecosystem, he has a vital role food source of food for predators in the wild. So the grasshopper is also important for the plant growth and the decomposition and the fertilizing of the soil. It is also a predator of the wild animals. It benefits the environment by feeding creatures like spiders, birds, lizards, and more, allowing them to survive to fulfill their own roles in maintaining a healthy and vibrant ecosystem. So they feed wild animals like spiders, birds, lizards, and more, allowing them to fulfill their nutrition value. For and so the grasshopper may not appreciate this particular role, but he is also a predator, and it also maintains a healthy and a vibrant ecosystem by the plant growth and the predators. So we must thank the grasshopper also for the wonderful beneficial and the habitat of this grasshopper. Ladybug. When we talk about ladybug, the first thing comes is all about the red and black spots. So we can easily identify that as a ladybug. So let us know more about this ladybug. Life cycle of a ladybug. First, adult ladybug lay eggs and then it is formed like a larva. So this is the larva form of a ladybug, and then pupa, and then adult ladybug. So adult ladybug, eggs, larva, pupa. This is the life cycle of a ladybug. Let us know about the food habits and the importance of ladybug. Most ladybugs consume plant-eating insects such as aphids and help to protect crops. Thus, they are often called gardener's best friend. So, when the ladybugs consume plant-eating insects such as aphids, this helps the gardeners to grow a good quality of flower or plant. So, it is often called as gardener's best friend. The most common insect that ladybug eat is aphids, which are serious pests of plants. Even larva form of ladybug often eat aphids. So the larva and the adult ladybug both eat aphids. They also eat insects that have soft bodies like mites, white flies, and scale insects, all of which are pests of plants. However, the question would be of what ladybugs eat much more complex than this. There are exceptions to most varying rules. For example, the subfamily Epilecnia can actually be considered to be a vegetarian ladybug. There are some that die or mildew. Some of them eat fungus like mushrooms. Still, others prefer eating leaves, fruits, honey, and honeydew. This shows that not all ladybugs are carnivores. There are some herbivore ladybugs. So, few subfamily prefer to eat leaves, fruits, honey, and honeydew. But most of the ladybugs eat plant-eating insects. Ladybugs form an important role in food chain, mainly because they are a natural predator of the kind of insect that humans consider pests and which make crop grow difficult. We know that ladybugs eat almost plant eater like aphids. This stops causing the damage in gardening or farming. In items of gardening and agriculture, ladybugs are more natural and effective pesticides than other chemical pesticides. Ladybugs lay hundreds of eggs in the colonies of aphids and the other plant-eating insects. When they hatch, the ladybug larvae immediately begin to feed. So what is the importance of ladybug in the ecosystem? When they consume plant eating such as aphids, the aphids usually eat plants. So when the ladybugs are there, when they consume aphids, the plant grows well with a good quality, and then it is often called as a natural pesticide as it is plants plant-eating insects. The ladybug hatches hundreds of eggs near the colonies of aphids and other plant-eating insects. So when they hatch, they immediately begin to feed these insects, and then it will be easy to grow crops with a good quality. And then it is thus called as farmer and gardener's best friend, ladybug.